Hey, what's up? So there's this thing going around on YouTube called the YouTube survey. I think this thing has been going on for a couple of years. I had never even heard of this up until my pal Dave Wilson recently tagged me. As far as I understand, you get tagged by someone, then you make a video answering the questions of this survey, and then you tag other people to do it. I'm not exactly sure who started it or what it's for, but it seems like fun, so let's do it. What's your biggest fear? Have you ever seen that movie called 127 Hours? If you haven't, go check it out. Then think of that, but in space, involving a black hole and a spacesuit leaking oxygen. Freaky. How did you find out Santa wasn't real? This is a trick question, right? Because, you know, Santa is based off of St. Nicholas, which was an actual guy. You mean the guy who like gets on the roof with his fluffy buffies and ring-a-ding-dings his way down the chimney, right? Okay. Growing up, I had somewhat of a hybrid Christmas. I, to the best of my knowledge, always knew that my parents are the ones that gave me the gifts because they were always labeled to Eric from mom and dad. But I think my mom and dad understood the value of how fun the idea of Santa Claus is. So they had ways of like incorporating Santa sometimes, even though we just all knew that it was kind of a fantasistical thing. Fantasistical? Since I was young, I just already knew. And yeah, very anticlimactic, I know. What's the best idea you've ever had? Well, it depends. What's your definition of best? What's the most embarrassing thing your parents have ever done? The only time I can really think of was something that happened to me in first grade. Every once in a while, they'd have a thing called pod time or pod something. I can't really remember exactly what it was called, but I'm gonna call it pod time. Pod time was when all the classes of a single grade just got together in one big group. The whole purpose of pod time was so that teachers could show us documentary videos or do presentations for us just as one big group. That's all there was to it, really. They'd usually last like an hour or so, and then we'd just kind of go back to our classrooms and just kind of continue on with our day. One of these pod times happened to fall directly on my birthday. On this particular day, when we got back to the classroom, my mom and dad showed up out of nowhere with all these bags of stuff. Mom and Dad, what are you doing here? They had brought my entire class cupcakes and treats to celebrate my birthday. At the time, I was ridiculously embarrassed, but looking back on it now, it makes my heart melt into just a tub of muscly goo. If you could only pick one career for the rest of your life, what would it be? I don't really think I could sum up one single career, but I think I can sum up an overall idea of what the career would be based on. Ever since I can remember, I've always been a very creative person. I've always just been drawn to the concept of starting with a blank canvas and having that freedom to build something that I want to build. And then also the process of building it, no matter what creative medium is involved, visual, audio, whatever. I think it would be amazing to be able to simply create what I want to create and be able to sustain my life and the things in my life. That right there, I could realistically do for the rest of my life. Well, that was the last question. I'm gonna follow suit with what Dave did and tag two people. The first person I'm gonna tag is Andy Schrock, and the second person I'm gonna tag is Swoozy. If you liked this video, or if you have any other questions that you want to ask me in addition to the questions that were covered in this video, feel free to leave me a comment and let me know. Either way, thanks for watching, and bye-bye.